Yeah, welcome back to Career Build Series. So, last episode worked on this little cape house after bought the island. We have Rougeau sitting out there. So one thing I was talking about, which I think I'm going to get started on, is I want to kind of revisit an old build. And so let me get in there and it's this tractor tug. And so this was for a JSI competition. So it's a tractor tug. It has its propellers in the front. So let's first start by spawning it. Ooh, it costs 129,000. How much does the 2111 cost? How does that? How is that so expensive? That's 182. This is a much more capable tug. I might not. I might not play with that if it's going to be that expensive. That's brutal, dude. That is expensive. Why is that so expensive? That's interesting. Because this is a small, not very capable tug at the moment. It's kind of cool that it's small and it kind of fits what we're doing. But if it's going to cost me 128,000, what's that? 15,000 mass for not much more. I can bring in the 2111. 2111's all set, all done, and all ready. It's 182. All right, so I kind of want to do a little bit of building on this video. So let's do that. Let's work with the Damen 2111. So one thing somebody had suggested a while ago that I really didn't get to was, so the way this works is, so you sit in the seat and you control your azipods via these controls. One thing I found with the with Rougeau is I really enjoyed being able to also control it by the seat and independently. So what I want to do is I want to get a I've resisted it. I wish they would put a control composite to on the seats that don't have any garish controls on them, and the reason is because like this just doesn't look right. A compact pilot seat just doesn't look right for a tugboat. So, um, so like this seat doesn't have any composite connection. So this seat does. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this seat in here. And what I'm hoping is that I'll be able to control this with it and essentially make it so that I can also do seat controls, because right now I can't also do seat controls, so I want to be able to do that. Let me I'm trying not to break stuff that okay, so those are both pivots. This needs to move. I forget what this controls. I think it's seat. So let me look. So this was when this is okay, so this chair rotation. Camera spot, chair rotation. Okay, so this can all move anyways. I'm going to cut this, and I'm just going to move it for now, and then I will think of a place to put it. I'll think of a place to put it, is what I'll say. And then I want to get the seat in there. So the space for it, let's get this seat in here. So essentially what I want to do is be able to also control this, control the functions of the azipods via the seat. It's going to make controlling much easier. All right, and so that should be pretty easy to set up. So presently, let me see where this control panel goes. I haven't touched this build in a while. This was for a Skunkworks challenge is what I built this for. Okay, so this goes down to this one here, engine and azipod control, which makes perfect sense for that. This is a very complex build. So let's see, engine azipod control. Let me go battery. Let's just add it. We have plenty of space. I love having a microcontroller with plenty of space open on it. It just building large ships is great because you just have so much space. It's just incredible how easy it is when you have that much space to do whatever you want, and that's awesome. Okay, let me update this. What I want to do is start looking at numbers. This shouldn't take long to get this set up, and then we'll just kind of do a little trial run with this. Okay, so where does this go? This goes to here. This goes down here to what's called, where are you going? Azimuth control, okay. So these are going to azimuth control. So we have throttle up, throttle down, azipod movement, essentially. So what I want this is W and S to control up, down as well as an option, and then AD will control the angle of the azipod, and then it'll be up, down for the starboard azipod and left, right. And then I want to make the, I'll have to decide how I sync this. I think I might start them desynced. I don't know. I'm going to also update it on the workshop, so I don't want to make it too complex for people who don't know or care too much about that. All right, so let's start looking at the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then is this 5, 6, 7, 8? 5, 6, 7, 8. Look, somebody knew what they were doing here. All right, nice. Okay, that's perfect. That's what I want. All right, so let's grab this. Nope, that's not the one. Oh, I want to add a mast to Vergeot at some point. All right, so it is azimuth control is right here. All right, so this should be pretty easy to kind of get this going here. So put seat there. AD is 1. So start reading numbers. Read numbers. Let me do. Okay, so 1 is AD, 2 is going to be WS, 3 is going to be left, right, 4 is going to be up, down. Okay, I didn't mean to move that. Grab this node, please. Thank you. There we go. All right, so those are there. And let me get this set up, and then I'll figure out what I want to do. So these are going to be sensitivity to 100, threshold gates 1, and just go like that. Okay, and then these can be if 1. So what are we reading here? We're reading. So first, do I need all 4? I do need all 4. I need to read off of 2, which is WS. Need to read those off 2, and then what are we talking? 4. 4 is up, down. So these need to. And so what this is going to do is this is going to allow me to control my my thrust. So if we look here, this has got to be. Yeah, this has got to be my thrust here. Let me see if this eventually ends up over there at these. See, I still have very simple controls. I don't have these engines supercharged or anything else. They don't really need it, but so these just need oars in here. So let's go like that. And you probably hear the cat singing in the background. He found something he's enjoying. All right, so 1 is going to be up. All right, 2 is going to be down. All right, and so that's going to be. All right, so I think this is port. That's port. Okay, so port is going to be. Which one's port? Port's going to be WS. That's 2. So 1 is going to be up. And then -1 is going to be down. All right, good. So that's there. Let's get these kind of in a reasonable place. Not too much of a reasonable place for these. I'm trying to get these set up like that. And then, so that's set up. That will now work that side. This needs to be starboard. It's fine where I have starboard. Starboard above port. Usually that's not my convention, but I don't always do. That's port air, and there's starboard air here. So starboard's just right here. Wow, so this is kind of a zoo down here. Why is this such a zoo down here? Azimuth control, okay. 5 and 6, yep. Okay, that's why it's just a little bit of a zoo. Let's go like this here. This should be cleaner like that. This can also be cleaner like that. All right, that works. Then I need 2 oars. Beautiful. Okay, so that can undo like that. All right, so this is going to now be there to up. This is going to be there to down. And then this is going to be there. And am I reading these right? Yes, that's correct. Okay, good. All right, let's kind of make these a little bit prettier here. Or I kind of want those lined up where I have them. Okay, that can go there like that, and then this, where are you at here? Keep grabbing the wrong things. There we go. Okay, so that's set up so that now we can control that by the seat. Last thing, that's throttles or thrust. Next thing we need to do is control the azimuth angle. So let's find the azimuth angle. So we have azimuth control. That is starboard pivot. So that's azimuth control. So 7 and 8. Why? I don't know why these aren't set. They are set to be straight up. Something's not set to be straight up, and it's driving me insane. Okay, see now the lines are hiding, so I'm happy. It's driving me insane. Let's see, azimuth, sink winch. Okay, let's see, where am I at here? So this is starboard pivot. So 7 and 8, and so we want a couple oars. Okay, so that's going to go there, here to there, here to there. I also kind of want to slow these down, but I'm not going to, I'll test them later. I want to make them more, less sensitive is what I'm trying to say. All right, that goes like that. And then I need to grab these two. Okay, and then what I need to do is convert these over to 1, -1s. So I have that already. So let me do this. Let's see, where am I? I'm trying to find them. Here's thresholds right here. All right, trying to do a little copy, save some time. All right, so 1 is going to be AD. So 1, I need those two, and then so that's port. And then this here is going to be starboard. Right here, 3 is starboard. I didn't grab control. And then this will be here, this will be here, because this is, let me just verify that's starboard pivot. Okay. And then this here will go like that, nice and clean, makes me happy. Let's find the, here's port pivot. Again, I'm going against my normal convention, which is having it set up where port is above starboard. I'm kind of going against my convention, which makes my head hurt a little bit. Because that's how I am. I think I did it like that. And then so you see this, that's the sync. Because I can sync the azimuth so that I can control it a little bit differently. All right. And then let me set this up how I want it. All right, so there we go. We're all set up here. Let me update this. Make sure the seat is attached properly. It should be. Again, there's a little bit of complexity here, so I want to make sure this works correctly. All right, let me set up the seat. That needs to be set up. So AD needs to be sensitivity 100% reset. If you make it 100%, as soon as you tap W, it goes all the way to 1. As soon as you tap S, it goes all the way to -1. And when you let go of it, it goes instantly pretty much to 0. Let me label them all them here. AD is port azipod. WS is going to be port thrust. Okay. Left right is going to be starboard azipod. Reset 100%. And then up down is going to be starboard thrust. Starboard thrust. Reset 100%. All right, let's save this. Let's do Damen 2111 update. Okay, let's save that. Let's spawn it. Let's see what's up. You can see the size difference. Yeah, I was gonna use that tractor tug, but it's just, I don't know why it's so expensive. It's insanely expensive. It could be because of the batteries and the electronics, but this is a much more capable tug and a much more, I knew a lot more. So this is okay. So this is kind of a cool tug for anybody who hasn't seen it. So let's start how you would start. You have to, or else you can't get it up and running. So you have to actually start this like you would a real vehicle. So you have to a real tugboat. You have to go downstairs to start. So you go downstairs, right, and you go down into the circuit breaker electronics room. So you come down here, and you open the engineering control panel. You turn on your starboard bank, your port bank, your recharge starboard battery, your recharge port bank. Turn the key, and that's the master. So that comes on. That has that sets up all your system. We can see the starboard and port batteries, the deltas. We have simulated def on this. Harbor generator if that's on, temp output, all that. That's fuel oil. We have 30,000 liters of fuel. Our RPSs. Those are all our breakers. Everything actually works. Those are our circuit breakers. Some medical stuff there. These are all of these panels are connected. Say maybe a couple that are open. So these are non-essential systems. You'll see like hydraulics, kitchen, spots, lights. These are all your essential systems. So this is set up like a real ship would be. We'll get a good tour of this. I'll do something with this. All right, so now that we actually have power, all right, we can actually do some things. So let's turn on the master power here, and let's set our lights to, as you can see, this is what I wanted to put into Rijot if I put a mast on it. 0 is no lights. 1, that's at anchor. So if we were sitting at anchor, let me just zoom out. Notice we get the 1 light. That will show us at anchor, and so that's accurate. If we go to 2, that is our standard running operation. Here, I was talking a video before about how you actually have a set of lights for towing. See, we have a white on top. We have a red on port. You can't see it from the back. We have a rear light. You notice we can no longer see that white light on top. Coming to the side, again, now we can see the white light. We can see green. So this is how you know the orientation of the vessel, is if you're looking at it from the side at night, and you see a white light on top, you see green on the, it's facing this direction. If you come in from behind and you see just the white light, you're behind it. If it was like this, you're to the port side of it. And then you see, we can see red and green, and we have a white. We know that it's coming at us. So that's for orientation purposes. And then we have, this is some sort of distress. That's another distress. That's another distress. I don't know the distresses. And then that's the tilt mast. So let's go to standard. We can tilt the mast. Let me show you that. You can see the mast tilts. That's for if we were going to go under a bridge, that will allow us to fit under those short bridges. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. We'll play a little bit here. Turn on, we have LiDAR and radar, wind direction, wind speed, depth under keel. A lot of the stuff could use some modernization. I could put some more paneling in here. So here's my azipod control. So I can control it. Let me see if it's working. Oh, I have not set it up right. So I know this is going to be tough just because when you set up a ship to be realistic, where you have to go down to the engine room to hook it up, it's important to make sure you actually connect things like the controls. Where is, okay, we're right here. It should be this one, seat, okay. Yeah, that's the only downside of something like set up realistic like this, is I have to actually kind of get down there. So like this is the engine room. you know, in here. So let's, and then now we're in engineering. I'll give you a full tour of this once we get it out there and kind of running. We're gonna burn a bunch of fuel here, not doing anything, but oh well. You know, this was my baby, and I kind of want to play with it a little bit. And I wanted to update it so the seat works. So now the seat should be connected, master power. Let's go to 2, which is our standard running lights. Now, as you can see, I can move my azipods. I don't know if they're moving the direction I want. I might have them reversed. Let me see. Right moves it to the right. Right on my keypad moves it backwards. So that is opposite of what I want. Okay, so let's go back in. And let's just invert those. So that's not a big deal. It's just inverting them. All right, so that should just be steering. That is pivot port. Okay, so here's my thresholds. Ors. So this one needs to go here. And then this one needs to go here. And then I'm just going to leave them apart for now. And then here is starboard pivot. This one needs to go here. This one needs to go here. And we'll just invert those like that. There we go. So that's set up now to work the way I want. I'll kind of show you the benefits of an ASD tug. So essentially an ASD tug, these azipods, they move independently, and it allows you to do some really cool stuff. So let's just fly in. Again, you know, it's one of the benefits of being able to XML edit your save files is you can take a career save, and you know, flying's important to me at this point just to expedite some things. You know, it'd be boring if I had to like go jump back and swim, jump back and swim, jump back and swim. So by doing that, it's a lot quicker. All right, so now let's test it. Azipods both are going right because they're synced currently. I can hold the D key and they turn right. Okay, so that's good. I can center my port azipod. Okay, so let's start with kind of a little bit of a maneuver here. So we have desync azipods. What that lets me do is now I'm just pressing the D key. You notice just the port's moving. If I go to starboard, I can move just the starboard. That lets me move the azipods independently. And so let's go out. Let's go out about to here, to that line there. So right there is where I want them controlled. And now let me start my engines. My engines are not on. Okay, so my 2 engines are running. Battery is all right. Harbor generator will automatically come on if it's if the battery gets too low. All right, so now there's a cool thing you can do with ASD tugs. You can move sideways. And so the way you do this is you want to increase port. So let's say, okay, so we want to go to the right. So I'm trying to think of which way to do it. So one has to go forward, one has to go in reverse. In real life, you'd actually have one facing forwards, but I can't do that. So I want to go up on port, and I want to go down on starboard. So let's see. They're currently... Oh, there we go. It is working. All right, so see how we're moving sideways? Let me bring out the... So see how we're moving sideways? We're moving a little bit forwards, which I can change, but notice how we just have those 2 props in the back, and by angling them, I can change that. So what I can do now is I'm going to... zero thrust, I forgot. I have to hook that up to the space bar as well. But you notice I can go sideways. So let me actually get ahead of Rijot so that we don't end up crashing. So now if I go up on both, all I had to do is actually press up on starboard and I would have been fine, but I got nervous. So these are really slow. And the reason they're slow is that gives me a lot of control. It lets me really do fine, minute changes. Where if I had made them so that I could change thrust really quickly, I wouldn't have very good control. All right, so let me take a quick pick while I'm here. That's a good picture. I shut off the camera noise for the screenshot. It's just absolutely miserably loud. Alright, so let's do that kind of showstopper maneuver. So let's say I want to go sideways now. I'm going to start coming down on starboard. Alright, we're going to go 1 bar down on starboard. Now I need to change these out to a different gauge that I can actually read. And so let's look from the camera view again of what's actually happening and how we're going sideways. I'll kind of explain it. So you notice how we're going sideways now? So let's kind of explain the mechanics of this. Alright, so let's look at our props. So we have both props, you know, they're not exactly at 45-degree angles, but let's say they're at 45-degree angles. So you have this one pushing this way, right? That's trying to push the stern to the right. This one is pulling the stern back, so it's canceling out that movement. So all you're getting is you're getting sideways movement. So you're no longer doing that turn, you're just you're canceling out your angles, but you have one in forward, one in reverse, and it's causing it to push it sideways. And now you'll notice I am turning a little bit, and the reason that's happening is because I don't have a good read of this. So what I think I'm going to do is change up the way that I do this. Instead of having these, I'm going to actually put in just those these bar gauges. And the reason is I can look at that, I can read it's 99. What I really want to do is put a screen in that will read percentages. So it'll tell me, okay, you're at negative 10% and you're at positive 10%. I know they're even, and that way they should be perfect. But that's me doing some Lua. But as you can see, I can go sideways. Now, if I'm turning right, that means that I don't have enough starboard. Alright, so now I'm going to increase my starboard a little bit. I think it means I don't have enough starboard. I think I might need a little bit more port. Let me just tap it. So I'm trying to just get the... I might be confused. I can do it all with steering too. So let me... so we're turning. I just want to go more sideways. So let me start steering more of this. Yeah, I need to steer them. So see the azipod? I need to increase the azipod angle. And now as you notice we're going... See how we're facing straight? We're not really turning much. I can actually look at my... I'm going to look at my compass. See how I'm looking at my compass? Right now I'm steering the starboard azipod only. And I'm trying to get it so that the compass doesn't move. So I need a little bit to the right, just a tap of the right. You notice how slowly it's moving? I'm actually increasing it now. It's going the wrong way. So I'm just trying to get it so that it stops moving. Alright, so see how it's pretty stable? It's moving a little bit, but it's pretty stable. We're only moving a couple degrees, and we're going sideways. So that's how you do it, is you modulate your azipod angle. And notice we're pretty close to going, you know, see I just added a tap, and now we're pretty much dead on south. I need to keep moving a little bit, but like if we watch it, let's watch it. You'll notice we're not actually turning much. We're just going sideways. So you can see us just going sideways here. So even though both of the propellers are in the rear, by having an ASD, it allows us to go sideways like this. And you notice how I can push sideways, so it makes it incredibly maneuverable. And so I can go sideways with this big tugboat with nothing but these two propellers in the back. In real life, what you would have is they both would be forward. So you'd have this one like this, and this one would actually be rotated the opposite direction. But we can't go 360 degrees unless I'm doing electricity. So all I have to do is put one in reverse. So it's not a big deal. But as you can see, I can move sideways. And so if I wanted to push a barge sideways, I can do that. So this thing's very beefy. It can pretty much push anything. You know, and then if I want to go straight, all I have to do is bring up the starboard, the thrust on the starboard azipod. Which I am, it's just slow, like I was saying. So ideally what I'd like to do is change these out so I can read the percentages. And so what I think I'd like to do is add in a, you know, I might do a 1x3 monitor. I just need to get better at Lua. I might play with the lure a little bit, and then when I kind of figure it out to the level where it's reasonable to show you guys, I might. What I would like to do is if I can redo this all of these gauges in one lure screen here, that would be awesome. One of the reasons I have this cutout here is it's a little bit ugly, and the reason is so you notice I can see the front of the boat. That's the whole reason. So let's continue forwards here. So let me show you kind of the max speed on this. So let's go ahead and I'm going to center the port azipod. I'm going to sync the azipods, and now you notice they're both going the same. I'm going to sync thrust. That allows me to control both from port. All right, so now the port's controlling both. So now I'm going to go full throttle. All right, the propeller noise they have yet to quote-unquote fix. I'd like them to do that. All right, so you notice we're going 12 knots here. All right, so let's do this. Let's bring this back to the workbench. You notice see how tightly I can turn this? I'll just bring it out so you can see third person. It's not the best to do this in the career build just because can't really see what I'm doing, but see how quickly you can turn this? This thing turns on a dime. That's, again, the benefit of having azipods is you're hyper maneuverable with an azipod. And you don't steer with both in real life. What you would do is in real life when you were like, I need to center that one. So let's say I wanted to go left, right? I pick one, which is generally the port one, and I steer with one. The other one just stays forwards. And I just steer like this. Yeah, they need to fix that prop sound. A lot of people have been complaining, so I think they'll do it, at some point. They've been doing really well with bug fixes. If you saw my latest, I kind of give away how far ahead I am weeks ahead on videos, pretty much always. So I make most of them on the weekend, and then I schedule them out to release. So yeah, give away where I'm at on videos. But I talked about in a video that crying about it is the devs know that there's these problems. They've heard them. They're in the official bug tracker where they're supposed to be. Um, they know they're there. Just screaming on Reddit or on one of the other, on the Steam forums or something. It's not going to get them fixed any faster. This is their baby. They're going to try to get it done. I hit that because again I'm trying to use my spacebar to cancel it out like with Rijot. I doubt I heard it. But see, it has these big fins. Those are stabilization fins um, in real life and actually in here. How do I recall this? Is this going to be a pain for me to recall it? See, I'm struggling to figure out how to recall. There it is. Return to workbench. Okay, B. All right, good. So this is going to save. This is the Damen 2111 update. One thing I want to fix really quick is spacebar. Let me look it up really quick. I think it's 30. It's either 31 or 32. Let's go to composite. We'll hover over here. Let's see, trigger is 31. So trigger is spacebar, so we want to do 31. So what I want to do is, again, in emergency, spacebar is nice and big and easy to touch. I want to do spacebar so that in an emergency I can zero my thrust so that I don't hit something. And so that's read on off right there, 31. Okay, and now I need to find, let's see. So I should just do oars and then add it to the, that's going to be the easiest. So let me see, okay, and then where's my thrust? That's my engine there. So this has got to be my thrust here. So you notice all these oars here. So what I'm going to do is, let me see how I can get that in there. I think I'll do it right here, AP stop. So that's if when the autopilot says stop, it triggers it there. And then if I go like this, so now that will allow me to have spacebar also do it. And then I'll go AP stop along with 31. And then where's that going? That's going down here to starboard air there. Where are we at here? Here's an oar there. What is 17? I don't know what 17 is. Let's find AP stop. AP stop is going here. And so what I'm going to do is come down here, and then instead of AP stop connecting there, AP stop will connect there, and that will allow me to do that. So that will allow me to do that. So let's update that. Let's save this as Damen 2111 update, and then I'll do one quick test with it, and then kind of make this whole video about this, and then I think I saved this, pretty sure. Let me check my money, make sure I didn't lose a ton of money. I didn't. I might have lost a little bit of money running that, but let me save this as career build series. All right, and then I'm gonna load up. Where is it? I have a I did a bunch. When I do a fuel run, I'll often make a ton of saves just because something happens. It's really tough to go back. I'd rather have a bunch of saves to be able to fix. If I have a glitch or something, it makes it easy. If I screw up the video, it makes it easy. Let's go here to our island. Might as well. One thing I need to be careful of is, so this tugboat, if you noticed, it has those stabilization fins on the front. I think they're called skegs. I'm not 100%. These skegs on the bottom, they are. You notice how this is pretty much maximum height because the skegs are so low in the water and the mast is so tall. That's maximum height. And so the skegs, I'll kind of show you how I make this work. You notice all this nonsense? This is not multiplayer friendly. That's how you keep this stable, and that's actually how it's stable in real life. Is if you think about it, I don't know hydrodynamics. My degree is in aeronautical science. I know aerodynamics, but the same type of principle is. So this is a symmetrical plane. So you have two symmetrical planes. So as the water passes over the symmetrical planes, you get inherent stability. And there's in airplanes, there's symmetrical wings that does the same thing. And so as you have water symmetrically going around there, it wants to keep this in the same orientation, the same place. Well, I kind of emulate that with these fins. Those fins are trying to keep me oriented, and that allows this so that it doesn't tip. Like people were telling me, "Oh, you're never going to be able to make an ASD tug that doesn't tip over when you have the prop sideways like that." And as you can see, it doesn't tip over. So, 0.1 to me. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the windows. I want to change them to be more realistic, but I have to XML edit them, and there's a bug where I don't know if it's a bug or what, but you get water in the lowest section because it's not sealed up here, and I want this sealed. So I'm not it doesn't really bother me that much, but I don't want to XML windows too much. But they could use an update. Okay, so this is set. Let me spawn it. I just want to test something really quickly. So what I'm gonna do is, since I'm in my test world, I can do whatever I want, do what I want. I'm gonna launch the barge at full capacity. I want to do a speed test. We should get at or close to maximum speed. This thing hauls pretty effortlessly. We'll see if it performs the way it should. There we go. I forget which the tow lights are. Let me see. I'm going to sync up thrust for now. Oh, I probably should start the engines. That would probably be a good thing. Let me try spacebar. Okay, zeroed the engines. Perfect. Please don't be toggle. Let me make sure the seat doesn't have that as toggle light. If that's toggle, it's supposed to be push, not toggle. Yeah, it's toggle. Okay. Okay. So that wouldn't have worked. All right. It's kind of a pain that I have to, That's one of the things is often I'll do these realistic builds like my oil tankers like this, and this is like it where I have to come down in the engine room in the engineering section, actually start it up and get it configured, and then I have to go walk back upstairs. And so this is a nightmare when I'm building it because if I do that too early, I end up having to do it every time I need to fix a tiny thing. I have to go upstairs and go up and downstairs, and it's just brutal. Where you know, once it's built and it's done, it's not a big deal. You do it once, you leave it in the world. You know, I never shut down. Essentially, I just always keep it on. It's not a huge deal, but so essentially the way this works is presently, let's look at our battery. Look at battery delta. You see we have a positive number. That means we're charging the batteries. When I zero the thrust, right, our RPM's going down. You'll notice now we have a negative battery. So what's going to happen is it's going to drain the battery. Then eventually we have an automatic harbor generator. That generator is going to automatically turn on when the battery gets too low. And that way, you know, we get our generator on. So you might hear a generator kick on. See, new barge. Let me take a spawner. And I'm just going to dump diesel in the tank. So we'll make this full. So we were getting, I think, 5 knots from Rijou. Yeah, I think 5 knots at maximum thrust. So this, let's plunk that in. Okay, that's good and full. And that looks, you know, that barge looks tiny compared to this. Yeah, this is, you know, let me bring up Damen. I love Damen, so I kind of enjoy going to show people what they've got. Alright, so let's look at Damen really quick. This is the 2111. This is their smallest ASD tug. And you can see how massive it is. Yeah, see, this is the 2111 here. And I'll show you, like, see, I would like the windows to be more like this. I have to XML edit them to do it, but this is their smallest ASD tug, is 21 meters, and that's what mine is in game. And you notice, like, this is like a 32 meter tug here. I don't want to download the product sheet. I just want to. Does it not have as much? It doesn't have as much. See, like this, it has. I can go through pictures. These I can't, but these are much larger tugs. You know, like this is set to a speed of 10.7. I think what do I do, 12, something like that. So I try to add a little bit, so that's like 20%. I kind of wanted to make this more realistic. I might boost it a little if I can't get the towing performance I want out of it, which I've never had a problem with it before. I'll boost it. You know, the engines could use an update anyways. I've learned a lot, and I've started, like, I used to just not even bother doing things like, so watch this. This is kind of cool. Oh, I can't do it with the seat like this. All right, so let me control the seat. That needs to move. So the seat can go 360 degrees. And so let me kill the lights. Where are the lights? Lights are on this panel here. Okay. So the seat can go 360 degrees, and so that allows me to, as you can see, that allows me to look backwards. And instead of looking over my shoulder, I can control them like this. You know, and so I have to steer backwards, and I have to see, like, I'm in reverse, yellow, steering backwards, but, you know, as you can see, I can easily see what I'm doing, and that needs to go somewhere that I can control it from where I'm in the seat, so I'll have to figure something out. And I want to change, so I want to get into Lua. So what I'll probably do is off screen, I'll play with some Lua. And I will see, okay, see, I stalled those out. That's not a big deal. That's something I can fix, which I should fix. All right, so the other thing is, you know, a lot of tugboats have winches on the bow and on the stern. Like that tractor tug I showed you had one on the bow, I should have gone out the other door, but had one on the bow and one on the stern. This type of tug has one winch. That what you do is you go in the winch room, and as you can see, you have a winch room, and what you have is you have a, where is it? You see you have a door, and what would happen in real life is, of course, we don't have proper winches. We don't have proper rope physics in game, which is too bad. It's something I would love them to add, but that might be something they need a new engine for. So what you do is you'd pass the winch cable out the window here, and the window actually is robust. It can the cable can rub, and then the cable goes through this, which is essentially just really big steel beaming. And so you can actually bend the cable around this, and then like this thing here, what you would do is if you wanted to pull something sideways, you saw how I could make the tug go sideways. What you would do is the cable would come out, it would go around here, and then the cable can come and it can actually bend around this post, and the cross section here allows it so it can't come up over the post and actually come around and damage here, and so you can pull something sideways. And you have the same type of thing in the back. So that's the whole point of this, is I can also pass it through a window in the front, and so I can use one winch to tow both forward or from the bow or from the stern. So we don't have real winch rope physics, unfortunately, but kind of have to just play the game how it is, unless they change it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start paying out line here. So I need winch. Should be winch out. The reason why it was a little bit me thinking is it depends on if I'm going forward, if I have it on the bow or the stern. So that is 100 and let me center those. That is 152,000 liters of diesel. Should be pulling up all this cable in a second here. But you notice it's very nice and convenient that I can look back there. Let me stop paying out cable and let's get the slack up. It's very nice and convenient that I can sit and look at what I'm working on. If I'm coming up to the side of a ship, like there should be I should put a different door in here and put a window in there. Okay, so we're taut. So now what I can do is, see that controller was right here where I could control it. I need to move that where it's usable. Like this is my lights. I might move the lights up top is probably what I'll do and put that here. But anyways, you would, so like say I could turn this seat sideways, and now I can look behind me and in front of me when I'm moving. I moved too far. There we go. So you see I can look left, look to there, so that's very convenient. So let me go full throttle. I want to do a pull test. So we're at full throttle now. We're going 10 knots. So Vrigeau, so I think our max speed's 12. We're doing 10 knots with that barge. So to put it in perspective, Vrigeau was, we were going 5 knots, I think, with that mass of fluid, and so because this this can tow at double the speed. Now this never gets up to 40 knots like Vrigeau does, but this does normally 12 knots. We've only lost 2 knots, and we could pull all that weight. We could probably haul a barge 10 times this to get down to 5 knots. So we can haul incredible amounts of weight with something like this because it's set up for that. And I'll do a quick tour of this for those who haven't seen it. We'll go through some of the functions. These are really cool screens. Let me look it up right now. Let me look it up. I want to look up who made these screens. They're my favorite screens for ships. They're really great. I had to really dig into their Lua. I asked them if they knew how to do something, and they didn't know how to do it. I asked my software engineer brother how to do it, and then I finally just screwed with it until I figured it out. But how to get it to interconnect with the autopilot so that I could have it auto stop. But let me see. I'm trying to find. I want to, give this person credit. Here it is. There's a situational awareness system. It's made by KTGS 9437. So excellent system. I use this on most of my ships. It's just really a great system. Anyways, it works. It uses the old radars, old LiDAR, but that still works perfectly well for me. But yeah, so like I was saying, is when you have a big tug like this, you never get the high speeds you get with like a Vrigeau, but you can haul incredible weights and not really lose any speed. We lost less than 20% of our speed, and we're hauling that weight. And we're hauling it at double the speed of what Vrigeau would be hauling that barge. And like I said, we could probably go 10 times that mass and still probably break the speed of Rougeot. So let's go through these screens. So they're really cool. I can they're reversionary, which means I can use them on either screen. I can, let me go through here. So this is autopilot. This is set up to map. So you see how I drag it. So if I zoom out, and this red line showing us where we're going. So if I want to hook up, set some autopilot, I actually add them like this. So I go add one there, add one there. So this is that multi-point autopilot I was telling you about. So like I can work my way through the ice and go up to the Arctic doing this. And so then when I reset and I zoom out, you'll notice that I have you know, a set course here. You see the set course? And so it'll follow those waypoints. So that's what that's about. So this is subtracting waypoints. You see Q is quantity of waypoints. You know, I have an automatic shut off for the autopilot. That will, once it reaches 0, it automatically shuts off. Turn the autopilot on and off. R resets us to the position. That's that zooms us in and out. I can that goes to the radar. So as you can see now, it's the same screen. Camera, map, see I can put it on different screens. So I usually like to keep the left one as my radar and this one as my map. Let's see what else I have. So I can move to go here. We have a map. I can change it from color to black and white. I don't know what that's about. Not sure what that's about. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Black and white. No, I don't know. This is transmit and receive for the transponder. I don't even know if that's set up. I think I do. And then I have radar sync. So what I can do is I can sync the radar, and you notice we have the radar going over here. I can sync it over here, so I can read the LiDAR and the radar signals on the map. So that's pretty cool. If I go to camera, so that is on the mast, I believe. So I can, you notice I can steer around and I can look up and down. Where is this camera? I can't recall this camera. Is that in the back? Okay, so this is one of my fire nozzles. So I set these up to control the fire nozzles. So I think so that resets it. I think N is night vision. Yep. Is this my fire nozzle? It might not be. I can't see it from where I'm sitting. It should be this fire. Yep. I think it is the fire nozzle. I think I see it moving out there. Let me move the other one. So I need to stay on camera. Then I need to go cam 2. Okay, so these are the fire nozzles. So that was just a camera. I forget where that's actually sitting. But see, I can look with this camera. That's my rear camera. You see, I can kind of just look around, zoom in, night vision, all that. Then I go to camera 2 is actually one of my firefighting nozzles. So let me see. That is on the that's on the port side. It's right here by the smokestacks. So if I zoom up, you see it. There's the nozzle right there. I think if I press N. Okay, so see N. It sprays water, so press N and it sprays water. So I just set that up. That would be night vision. And then what I can do is I can do the zoom. I think that's plus here. Yeah, see me do the zoom, and I can increase the water. So if I wanted to hit the barge, I can look at the barge there, as you can see on the camera. And so it looks like I'm short of it. If we look back, yep, I'm short of it. I can start to increase, and now we're hitting the barge. So I can fight fires with the cameras here. And so you can see how I can both look at the camera, or I can manually look outside. Now, you know, I'm pouring water on the barge, so kind of cool. I just essentially use the camera controls and set that up so that it will work. Could use some cats, you know, as you can see, it's blowing smoke. But yep, so that's that. If I go to reset, and then press N, it will shut it off. So that's why it has the same like night vision. That's the other one. That's the one over here. So I can do 2 fire nozzles. So I just have 3 cameras set up there now. But that's pretty cool. Go back to map, yeah, radar. Let me go down and I will show you some more stuff. in this, and then we'll call it an episode. So we'll go down to the, let's go on the deck. So we have the deck here. So here is the service panel. So here we have our fuel oil, which is our diesel. You see showing us quantity here. That's where we would refuel. DEF. So what DEF is diesel exhaust fluid. It's a urea-based chemical that it catalyzes the exhaust to reduce pollution. And so it's usually it's like it's a 1 to 50 ratio. So for every 1 liter, which I think this is in gallons maybe, it's for every 1 liter of or for every 50 liters of diesel you burn, you would use 1 liter of DEF is essentially what it is. So this is jet fuel, so you have to put jet fuel in there. So it gives you a little bit of a DEF cost, and then what it does is it just spits it overboard. This is for shore power, and that allows us to connect to power. This is firefighting gear, so we can also hook up here. I can turn on the fire alarm, and I can turn on the water pump, and you'll see I can manually fight fires as well. So that's there. We also have a fire extinguisher in there. Over here we have the starboard firefighting panel, same stuff. Simulated life ring there. Have some ropes, some cables and whatnot there. There's the front door for towing stuff from the bow. Here we have a tool chest, so we have repair torches, more ropes and cables, some equipment, more stuff here on the side. That's where we'd pass the cable through again if we were going to do the front. So as you can see, we have just some. This is simulating hydraulic pressure, fluid, cable length, and if the winch is turned, if we're moving the winch or not. We have a bathroom on this level for the flusher. Let's go ahead and go down. Again, this is set up like the real vessel. I had to make some design changes, but it's mostly set up to be like the real vessel. Come down here into our main hallway. We have the shower. We have the downstairs toilet. This is one of the staterooms, as you can see. I was talking about one of the videos how you don't need a lot of heaters. This has 1 heater for the entire ship, and that takes care of it. Here's another stateroom. So there's 3 staterooms on this, which is accurate to the real vessel. As you can see, 3 staterooms. And then we have the dining area, which the layout's pretty close to real. And then this is the kitchen area, the galley here. And then these, you see all these on the floor, we have fluid meters and fluid ports. That's all for pumping out if we flood. So it'll automatically pump out. You'll notice these all around. There should be one here. There's actually one in the stairwell here too. You see it there. So that auto pumps out if we were to flood. Went through this. There's another one there. You'll see them everywhere. They're in every lower deck. All these work. If I wanted to shut off anything in the kitchen, I can. Hydraulics. A lot of this stuff is simulated. We have kind of a little med station here. Here's your engine room. Engine room has a lot of simulated stuff. So like this is actually your system for pumping out all your any flooding. This is your simulated hydraulics. So I made this look like real hydraulic systems. This is your fuel water separator for your for your starboard side. Modular on this side. That's simulating the DEF system right there. This is the DEF here. So it's 2 tanks that's coming up from the up top to refill it, and then that pumps it out. And then this is, what is this doing? This is your simulated compressor. So these are your simulated air compressor for pneumatics. So you have inlet compressor, and then that's sending it out to a simulated compression system. So that's just simulated. More fuel water separation here. This is your actual functioning firefighting system. So this is actually how they do it in real life. They have a PTO off the front of the engines, and so the engines actually turn the impellers for the firefighting system. So that's why they're set up like this. This is actually how they do it IRL. Now, of course, I can't actually have a clutch doing it. So as you can see, there's a motor in front of the clutch. That's actually what does it. Um, port diesel, starboard diesel. Those are simulated blowers. I need to actually supercharge them. So in real life, these are your azipod control units. And so these are your main generators, and they actually, I think that's how they had them set up, was you had your azipod control units and then the generators are sitting on top of them. This here is your harbor generator. This is that automated generator that will come on. We're at full throttle. This won't come on. We're making plenty of electricity. If we look at something, where are we at here? I'm trying to find something. See, electricity is at 100%. We're making enough electricity with the regular motors off of these generators. Yeah, see I don't know why the clutch is so high, but yeah, we're making plenty of SWATs off of this to keep us fully charged. You notice we have these firefighting nozzles. This is the automated sprinkler system. So if the temperature rises up in here above 120, which is when you get a fire, it will automatically put out any fires. So simulated air ducting, as you can see. So if we go in here, we have the simulated washer dryer. I don't know why I don't have a light in here, so we'll put a light in here. But this is your simulated HVAC system. So we have some suits and firefighting gear and stuff, more equipment. This is a simulated HVAC system. So you would have heating, ventilating, air conditioning going through these, through that overhead line there. So that's pretty much, I think, all of this ship. Like in real life, most ships that again, I'm no expert, but most ships, they seem to have their fuel underneath the floorboard of the main living area, and that way you get that center of gravity very low, and so that's what that's all about. So, but anyway, so it was good to get this updated. It's really nice that I can now control this from here. But as we can see, we can haul that enormously heavy barge at 10 knots. This is going to allow us to really expand our gameplay where I can use this for it. Let me recall some stuff here. I'd like them to fix the noise of the engines at some point. Okay, of course I recalled the barge first. Let me recall this. Alright, so this turned out really well to get that done. Let's save it here. Damen, let's actually name it. Let me see. 2111 update, update, backup. Alright, so I'll have two of them. And so this here costs me 182,000. So that I really wanted to update this ship, get that in there. That was the main thing. It was just the controls were tough. I had to constantly touch these. Somebody suggested it in the comments of the release for this a long time ago, and I kind of was resistant to it. And I'm kind of I'm becoming more more accustomed to it and doing it. So let me check this panel real quick. I'll finish something up here. Bow spots, stern spots, side spots. Okay, I think I'm going to put this. Let me make sure I don't have anything right above me here. Okay, so nothing's right there. I might have to get out of my seat a little bit to do this, but I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to move this. This is going to go up there on the ceiling because I want to be able to control those lights without getting out of my seat. That's, again, it's important to me to have, human factors is important of how you interact with the machine. And so I want to have good human factors where I can really interact well with this machine. I'm going to change, oh, come on. Did I just screw up? No, I didn't. Okay. For some reason, it didn't misbehave on the paint. I had the bucket selected, and I was kind of afraid. Do I want to do that? I kind of think I do. I kind of think I want to black out the top of the gauges like that, and then keep them wood paneling around. I think that's what I want to do. And then this gauge here is for the seat controls. That's going to go where this was. So this does seat controls, and it does so the center spot. So remember I was moving that camera that looked around. That is this camera, and it has a spotlight on it, so I can also turn that spot on. So that's what that does. All right, I don't want symmetry on, really. Let me see. So I want to take this panel color and go like that, I think. Probably like that. I don't know how I'll like that. I tend to do my panel colors like that now. All right, so that's painted. So that's all set up. So now I can control my seat. And I really like it that I have that person was right. Let's say that. You know, so that's much better that way, I think. Let's save that. So this is now something we can use in game. We have plenty of money for this. We have 182,000. It's expensive, but we're mostly paying for the ship. The fuels are going to be expensive. You saw how quickly it guzzles down fuel, but we can do a lot more work quicker. And so Brigeau towed that barge not time efficiently, but fuel efficiently. We burned up to maybe 300 gallons. I'm not even sure. Let me check really quick if this is reading. Let's see, where does this read from? Trying to see where this. Okay, right here. So this is the fuel oil display. Let's see where that goes to. Right here, fuel add total. I want to see if that's in gallons or liters. I can't recall what I did. It must be liters. Must be 30,000 liters of diesel. Gallons, I think the tank's too small for that. But anyway, so that's a lot of. That's 30. If we got it at 35 cents, you know, it's not too bad. It's about 10,000. Probably about $10,000 to fill this. It's twice as fast as Vergeau, so it might be a little less efficient, but we get it done twice as fast. We can also, like I said, we could probably haul a barge 10 times that size to get down to Vergeau's. So if you want to do it a one-to-one comparison, if we help towed a barge large enough to get the speed of this down to about 5 knots, we're probably talking a million liters. So we can move a million liters with me spawning this for 128,000. So that's not that bad. Make sure this is saved. And then I'm going to bring up the TA800 really quick. TA800. I don't want to go into more trading. We have some money. I kind of want to go into some regular rescues. This one, I'll spawn it so you can see it. But as you see, it has the pivot glitch. I would love to get rid of the pivot glitch. I've kind of thought of some ideas of maybe trying to get rid of the pivot glitch. It slows it down. It makes it bobby. I might try the crazy idea. So this is where either our air ballast or our liquid ballast goes in there. And these are all our ballast tanks. And then these are our oil tanks. And so I might replace all the wall here with wedges. I might be able to get the air volume high enough that I don't need those pivots, but that is a stretch. So I would love to get this in game. Let me spawn it. Seeing we're in my test world, I can spawn whatever I want. You'll notice, let me put it in day mode so you can actually see it. You'll notice it's kind of wonky when it starts. That's because of the pivot glitch, but this holds a lot less oil than it really should. You see it rocks because of the pivot glitch. This holds a lot less oil than it should in real life. And I can't get I just can't get the buoyancy right. This is the exact dimensions. This is a one-to-one representation of the T800. I can't get the buoyancy right without the glitch. So what I would like to do is I might, like if we go in here, that's where we're hiding. It's full of water now. And so this is actually how an oil tanker works, most of them that I've found. Again, I'm no expert. So I have a tank here on either side, here and here, as you can see. This is a fuel tank, I think. This is the main fuel tank. Yeah, this is the main fuel tank for the ship itself. Then that's a stability weight. You see, this is water and air ballast. Water and air ballast. So what it does is it forms a U around the ship, and then the other parts of the U is this corridor. So the reason why we have these two big empty corridors is what happens is if we pierce the side of the ship on a rock, that would That would keep it from letting the oil leak out. So the oil is in these tanks in the center. So you would have to pierce both this wall and this wall to have any oil leak into the ocean. That's how they set up the real tankers in real life. They put a U-shaped ballast around them, and when there's no oil in there, you fill it with water, and when there's oil in the tanks, you fill it with air, and that allows you to control your buoyancy. So let me get up there. So I'll do a quick little tour of this ship. So this is my baby. This actually has my most downloads, but it needs an anchor update. So this is how it looks in real life. This is one of the functional control panels for filling the oil tanks. These are all your readouts. You have 8 tanks, and that's how it is in real life. You have port 1, 3, 5, and 7 are all your port tanks. 2, 4, 6, and 8 are all your starboard tanks. And then, so currently they should be all reading 0. Zeros, as you can see. I'll just run this really quick. We're getting a little late on the video, so that's that. This is for your diesel for your actual ship to operate. So you can see we're holding 47,000, almost 48,000 liters of diesel, which is pretty accurate to the real one, I think. So these are all decorative things. The pumps are actually in these pump housings. All of these pipes and these valves actually work. That's how you actually pump. Big no smoking sign. This needs some more firefighting equipment. Hand-drawn Damen logo. In here is your staterooms. This is a crew of 3. This is your bathroom. Looks like a jail cell, but that's your bathroom door. Your toilet's behind the door. Another stateroom. So you have 3 staterooms in here, as you can see. Then we have the kitchen. Kitchen galley, and seating. So that's how it is actually in real life. You have your living quarters there, and then to get to the bridge, you actually have to go outside. This is more of like a coastal tanker. It doesn't go out to sea very much. It's mostly coastal. You can also control your fills from here. I'm going to update this at some point. So you turn on tank 1 pump, in or out. That changes it to in or out, and you notice if the flow changes. And this allows you to toggle to control from bridge. So if I click this on, I can control it from here. If not, I could control it from there. So I'll update that at some point. This is your ballast system. So as you can see, we start with water. We can put how many meters above or below the water we want, and it will automatically fill. So we can't go below the Pimsoil line. So the Pimsoil line is, I think I have that. Okay, you notice there, that's our Pimsoil line. That's where our water should be. And then you have, I forget what this is called, but these would be your different locations on the globe based on salinity and water density. That's where your water line should be. So that's essentially where you want your water line. And so right now it's set properly. If I were to say I wanted to go 1 meter above the water, and I put a 1 in there, you'll notice it starts dumping water like crazy because it's trying to get these 2 altimeters to essentially to read 1. And so it's going to dump water like crazy. So I'll go back to 0. So it automatically modulates your ballast, which is good because you see how long it takes to fill and empty these things with oil. So what it's going to do is it's going to automatically, as we add oil, it's going to sink the boat, right? And so as we start to sink, the altimeters are reading, well, hey, he wants 0, and presently he has 0.21. Well, once I start going below water, it starts automatically pumping out the water, and so I can hook this up and go to bed or whatever, or go do something else, and as I add oil, it will automatically remove water. And then as I pump oil out, it will automatically add water. So it's an automated system, so that works well. Let's just go for a small ride. This one is a really primitive kind of drive system. I need to update this. So again, this is one of those ships that's trying to be realistic simulator based. So you have to go down the engine room to start it. So go down the engine room. You have to come in here actually. Starboard port recharges. You notice this panel looks familiar. This ship is where it came from. These are all working These are all working. You hear the harbor generator come on. These are all working circuit breakers. Looks less elegant in here than in the 2111. This ship came before that. This ship came before. This looks familiar. So this is a harbor generator. It automatically starts and stops. So we're sitting here burning electricity. That's another room that could be finished at some point. These are our two engines. As you see, they don't need to be big, and they easily control this large ship. There's our actual ship fuel supply. These are all the actual ballast pumps, and that's where they all drain out. You want your ballast to pump out above the water line. That really helps. And again, these corridors are designed to give you that barrier between the outside wall and the oil wall, so that you're not, dumping 100,000 liters of oil into the ocean. So this is kind of an unfinished area. And then you have the other hallway on this side. And that just runs there. Underneath here is that where all those pivots are. That's where your water ballast is. So this is part of that U-shaped ballasting area. All right, so now that we're all set, we can go up to the bridge and we're powered up. I'll just do this really quick. So the reason I'm showing you these is these are some of the things I want to get into the career build series. So this is one of the things that I would use for my for actually doing that. So this actually is a constant RPS system. So if I go port and starboard, these try to maintain a constant RPS the whole time, and you modulate the clutch. So that's just a different kind of system, as you can see. And then bow thruster. We have bow thruster position. I think that's center. That centers it. So like if I gave us full left bow thrust, you'll notice our bow starts coming to the left. I press that, it just centers it. RPSs, you notice the RPSs are high. I want to change that so we're not burning so much at idle. Wind speed, depth under keel, cockpit lights, that's the lighting panel, looks familiar. Temps, generators on, the generator temp, you notice these screens look familiar. And then I can sync the throttles, and this is all clutch based. So we are doing, let's see what it tops out at either 11 or 12 knots, which I think is realistic. Let's look at the Damen site. Again, sorry, this video is taking a little bit long, but just kind of want to show you some of the toys that I'm excited about using. I'm really looking forward to using some of these in the career build series. So let me see what we got here. Product tankers. Yeah, tankers. So here's the T800 right here. You'll notice max speed is 8.5 knots. So I usually go about 20 to 50% higher. So we're 20% or so higher. So this should hold 796,000 liters of oil. It doesn't hold anywhere near that because of, even with the pivot glitch, I can't get it up that high. That's what I'd like to get it to. I can't because I don't have enough buoyancy. So I'm going to try to play with that. I might, I have no problem with me in a single game using it, so I might just not bother. But you see, like the pump housings, I got to look really realistic. So anyways, this is, that's the Damen T800. So looking forward to getting that in game. But you see, we can do 11 knots hauling. I think we can go full speed with oil on board. I think we can go full speed with 100% oil. So we should be able to go, I think this holds at least, I think, 175,000 liters of oil. So we should be able to take 175,000 liters of oil. I think it does max speed. I'm not 100% sure. But we should be able to take full oil and get this moving. So that's kind of another toy that we can use. That's another toy we can use that's in our tool belt. Another tool in our tool belt that we can use to do some of this oil trading. And again, like I was saying, is one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to grind some money up. I wanted to buy this island. Now we can easily take that tanker down here, put it on autopilot. I can send it around I don't like doing diesel in this. I like only doing oil. But one thing we could do if we really want a lot of money, and again, I'll try to finish this video up soon, but get down here. Look at that. That's 59-cent oil. Let's say 60-cent oil. It's 59 cents. We'll go 59 cents. So that's 59-cent oil. All right. So let's go look at here. That's 286. 2.86 minus 0.59. That's 2.27 dollars per liter we'd make. Like I said, I think this is 175,000 liters of oil I have on here. That's just under $400,000 one run. So I could take that down here. It would be a long haul. I'd have to go all the way down here, you know, pick up some oil, or I could start here and go over there. But I can leave it on autopilot. And if I put a keep active block on there, which I will, I can actually, we could take what do you call it, the katydid, launch it here or here, whatever, put it on autopilot, let it run, and then go do missions. And then when it gets there, I can fly the katydid over. I can land the katydid on the oil gantry. I can, you know, get that moving. I can jump off, get back up the oil gantry, fly off on the katydid, and it will, you know, automatically take itself all the way up here, and it will stop and sit there. And the harbor generator will automatically turn on. It will automatically turn off. It does all that. So that's going to be a lot of fun for being able to get that in. We hit 12 knots there for a second. But so this is another fun toy I'm looking forward to using. Really excited about adding this to the gameplay. So this video is long enough. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.